once again to Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com tonight. The Bobcats return to action as they play host to the Southwestern College Jaguars in a South Division matchup. Jeff Stoynoff, Brad Hoyseth with you here from Saddleback Stadium. And Brad, let's start with Saddleback. It's been a disastrous start to their conference schedule. They've now lost 4 in a row, but 2 one-sided losses to start the division schedule. How did they start to turn things around?
Well, I think you have to take the approach of it's a new season. You take one game at a time. You still got an opportunity to finish 5-5. I saw a couple kids on campus this week, and it was yesterday actually, and they both looked at me and said, "It's a new day tomorrow." And I think that's the way you have to approach it. Is that what you're going to do over the last 3 weeks is going to give you a foundation for what happens during the off season, which is going to give you a foundation for what happens next year. So, they've still got 3 opportunities to win a game. This is a game that's very, very winnable for them, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, the Jaguars, for their part, off to an equally rough start in their conference schedule. They are also 0-2 in conference play with back-to-back shutout losses against Golden West College and Fullerton. We are underway. The Bobcats in the home black jerseys and a sliding catch on the kick will pin the Bobcats deep. They'll start from their own 9-yard line for their first possession. They'll be led by quarterback Drew Nash, who started the season at the helm. DJ Ralph came on, come on in week 3 in the victory over East Los Angeles College, and then got a start after that before Nash returned in the Mount San Antonio College game with an impressive performance off the bench and a tight loss to the Mounties, and it's been Nash as the starter since then. Nash will be joined in the backfield by tailback Andrew Wimmer, leading rusher for the Bobcats on the season with a little over 300 yards, 307 yards rushing through the first 7 games. And it's Wimmer who gets the call. Little move at the line. Now finds some running room. He's out past the 15, past the 20, and out to the 22. A 13-yard run for Wimmer and a good start for the Bobcats.
It's a new day, Jeff. Like the kids told me yesterday, and a 13-yard run, that's pretty encouraging on your first play from scrimmage.
Working behind the left side of that offensive line, Roy Lockmish, William Savar. And they opened up a good lane for Wimmer, and they'll go back to Wimmer. Again, running left, trying to bounce it outside. Now cuts it back out past the 25 to the 26. A 4-yard run for Wimmer. And, Wimmer's one of those guys that doesn't exactly blow you away at first glance, but has a way of finding positive yardage.
Yeah, no, I love the way the kid keeps his legs moving at all times. See him wearing the pink tape tonight. A lot of kids wearing pink tape. I've seen that trend in college football this week and college athletics in general.
Wimmer in some trouble on this carry, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Well, it's a big play right here for Saddleback early on. This is kind of where they've had their problems, but, they're 3rd and 6. The problem in previous games is they keep getting themselves in 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14, and so on and so forth. And so 3rd and 6 is a little bit more manageable. See what Drew Nash and company can do on this one.
Yeah, it was Fuabato Talafe able to bring Wimmer down at the line, and a 3rd down and 6 from the 26. Nash with a straight drop, has time, throws over the middle, and completes. Appears to have enough for a 1st down as he finds Yasir Berry out to the 33.
It's a good play right there. It's got a nice little timing pattern. Nash and Berry on the same page. Soft coverage. 1st down.
Gauchos come in at about 32% 3rd down conversions on the season. It's been something of a struggle, but they are able to convert on their first 3rd down tonight, and they'll continue the drive. Back to Wimmer, good hole. Wimmer into the secondary, slips out of a tackle at the 45, into Jaguar territory at the 48 as Wimmer rips off a 19-yard run.
Those are 2 or 3 of the biggest holes I've seen all season long for Saddleback, and it's an encouraging start for the Bobcats.
Finally brought down by Lawson Jordan, but not before Wimmer got to the 2nd level and gets to Jaguar territory. Back to Wimmer, little stutter step at the line. Now squirts through, and he's got good yardage again inside the 40 down to the 38. That is very close to 1st down yardage again.
Really nice job by the offensive line so far. Wimmer, a lot of these carries, he's not getting touched until he's 4 or 5 yards down the field.
Johnson Kemagai on the stop. for Southwestern, and you can already tell early on this drive that the Jaguars somewhat undermanned here as they come in. It's a little bit smaller roster and some guys that have not been regular starters throughout the season getting an early start. Swung out in the flat to Wimmer, forced out of bounds. Down near the 25-yard line. They'll spot it at the 24. And a lot of room here for Wimmer again out of the flat.
Kind of reminiscent of our first game of the season, Jeff. Remember Wimmer, the first play from scrimmage, went like 76 yards and had a big night. And it's got to feel good if you're the Saddleback offense right now.
Yeah, it was a 73-yard run, and I don't have that kind of photographic memory, but it is still his long as Wimmer breaks a tackle at the line and then picks his way forward to the 18. We do have our first flag tonight. It's a 6-yard run, but let's see what the call is.
Referees having a little powwow out around the 23.
Meanwhile, Darius Maxwell has checked in as well. We'll get a look at the call here. And boy, right now, about the only thing that could stall the Bobcat drive would be a penalty, but this one's going to go against Southwestern.
Yeah, somebody got a little anxious there. An offsides call against the Jaguars.
So it'll be a 1st and 5 as the Bobcats will move into the red zone this season. They're about middle of the pack in the red zone, scoring at 70%, touchdowns 52% on the season. Both of those maybe slightly below the middle of the pack on the season.
Yep, they're going to ask for the clock to be pushed back up.
This drive started back at the Saddleback 9, and they have moved it to the Southwestern 19. Both teams coming off tough losses a week ago. Southwestern was blanked at home against Fullerton, 31-0. And the Bobcats losing at Golden West 34-3. Nash looking into the end zone for Maxwell.
Just wide open on that one, Jeff. You had the corner beaten to the corner, and Drew Nash, he delivers a strike right on the money.
Yeah, working one-on-one against Amir.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, there's just he's got a couple of steps on the DB there, and it's just a little corner pattern.
Well, for Maxwell, it's his 8th catch of the season and his 2nd touchdown. And he has been a big-time playmaker that has come on for this team, seen somewhat limited action, but when he's been on the field, he's had a way of making plays, and he makes another one there. Extra point is up and good. 3 minutes and 18 seconds, and Saddleback is on the board, 7-0 over Southwestern. It's Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Seven 0. Bobcats grab the early lead as Nash finds Maxwell. And the kick away taken at the 5 as the Jaguars will go on offense for the first time tonight. And it's a Jaguar team looking for their first points since October 2nd.
Well,
back-to-back shutout losses.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough right there. That's hard to overcome. And, you know, the Bobcats now up 7-0. I guess you could say the Bobcats are kind of smelling blood, and you can hope they can keep it up. We've seen spurts where Saddleback has looked great at times, you know?
Yeah, it's been an interesting season, to say the least, for the Bobcats. You go back to a 2-1 start, and then back-to-back games at home against Ventura and Mount San Antonio College. That's as tough a competition as you're going to have, and they're absolutely in both games deep into the fourth quarter. A couple of heartbreaking losses, really, and then the wheels came off the last couple of weeks to have this season get away from them a little bit, and now they're down to 2-5. But you talk about a season that very easily could have gone very differently.
Yeah, but everything has been in spurts. You remember the East LA game, down 19-0 at half? Yeah. They score 30 straight. Mount Sac, they get way behind in that game, come steaming back to actually take the lead at the end. And so it's just been kind of one of those things that they've failed to put together four quarters really since that first game of the year.
Anderson Dominic. I should say Dominic Anderson, I'm sorry, in the backfield. Getting used to reading the roster here. But this will be a quarterback keeper as it's Kahanu Davis who gets the start. And we have seen one look at the stats for Southwestern, and they have had at least four different quarterbacks, and Davis now will be the fifth. And this is not all injuries. A week ago, three different quarterbacks saw action in the game. So we're going to see Davis to start here at quarterback, but he may not be the last quarterback that we see. And again, we suspect as you look at that Southwestern sideline, and there's not a lot of players over there, and I think this is a program right now that's in a little bit of flux this season. Trouble on the exchange. This ball is loose.
Bobcats,
and it looks like the Bobcats will get it. It's Isaiah Sierra.
That's a big play right there if you're Saddleback. I mean, you have a great drive. It energizes your roster. The defense gets out there, and like you said, there seems to be a lot of new players out there for Southwestern. Some miscommunication, obviously. Running back couldn't handle the pitch. And
yeah, they were trying to look like a jet sweep, and just trouble on the exchange. And Sierra there quickly. Well, no, it does. It looked for a moment like Sierra had the best shot at it, but it does look like Southwestern actually did fall on it. So Sierra right there, but couldn't quite wrap it up, and that's a big break for the Jaguars early as they will be able to kick it away.
I think they took too much time here they didn't get the playoff.
Yeah, Justin McGillicuddy back in punt formation, and it was near total disaster on the opening drive, but the Jaguars will settle for the much more palatable just a 3-and-out, and they'll kick it away from the 23. Barry waiting back at midfield. This kick will bounce at the 42 and take a Southwestern bounce out to the 48, a 30-yard punt and very good field position for the Bobcats on this second drive. 10:02 to go in the first quarter.
It's all what the doctor ordered right now, Jeff. You get a good first drive, you get a stop, and now you got great field position. Still 10:02 remaining in the opening quarter.
Nash on again with Wimmer in the pistol formation. Three wide receivers to the near side. Jaguars showing blitz now, some move on the right side, and here comes the flag.
Yeah, I think we had an offside on that far side of that line from when you're looking at the screen here. Look like the right defensive end.
Was their movement perhaps to draw them off? That's the only drama left. We'll get a look at it here from field level. And I didn't see a whole lot of movement.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on the Saddleback side. I saw two guys move for Southwestern, and so apparently the black and white stripes saw it the same way.
So 1st and 5 from the 43. And Nash, with plenty of time on the play clock, will move Wimmer to his right. And Wimmer will get the call. Little cutback. Big lane again for Wimmer. He's into the secondary. Down to the 29. 14-yard run for Wimmer, who is piling up the yardage here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and not just another huge hole over the left side. I mean, it looked like he was going to go right, and he saw a huge hole on the left and cut back, and he exploited it.
That's a good read by Wimmer, too, in the hole. Little cutback and finds the lane. 1st and 10. Saddleback at the 29. Again, they overload the near side as they work it from left to right. Blitz coming. Nash backing up. Now looking deep into the end zone. Wide open. It's Hicks and another Saddleback touchdown.
Boy, another blown coverage right there. And Bobcats, they're feeling it right now.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Saddleback off to a pretty quick start in the game against San Diego Mesa. They led that one 14-0 in the second quarter before Mesa came roaring back to win that one 31-14. But, Brad, I think we'd agree this one has a slightly different feel early on.
This has a very different feel, Jeff.
13-0 as they wait for the extra point from Grace. Placement down, kick is up, and good. Torrid start for Saddleback. 9:24 to go in the first quarter, and Saddleback leads at 14-0. Nothing in favor of Saddleback. Fast start in the air, on the ground. It was a long drive on the first possession for Saddleback, and then they take advantage of a short field as Nash finds Samuel Hicks. 29-yard touchdown reception for Hicks, and a 14-0 lead. And Southwestern back on the attack, out to the 35 after a solid return.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, if you watched the game last week against Golden West, Saddleback took very few shots downfield. They started to try at the end of the game, but really through the first three quarters, only one or two shots that they really took over 10 yards. This one has a completely different feel. They've already taken two shots and scored twice on them.
It was Konecki on the return, taking it out to the 35. And that's where we'll get things started with Davis again at the controls. And Davis been one of the primary receivers, as it's Dorsey on the quick pitch, and he is stood up after a gain of perhaps a yard. It has not been easy. One thing you could say about the Bobcats this season, despite the 2-5 record, it hasn't been easy to run the ball.
No, the defense has really, I think, played well pretty much all season long. They've gotten themselves in some situations where we're just on the field too long. Last week is a good example. Against Golden West, they were up 14-0. And then I think the brakes just got hit for the offense, and by the fourth quarter, the defense was just gassed.
It was Romaldo moving up from his safety spot to deliver the first hit on Dorsey. So already the Bobcats seem to be challenging this Jaguar offense at the line. Davis in some trouble now, manages to scramble his way free to the 39 before Sierra brings him down, and it'll be a 3rd down and 6 for Southwestern.
Yeah, he was running for his life there. A nice little athletic move by the quarterback there to find a little seam, get 5 on the play. It looked like it was going to go the wrong direction there for a while.
Well, how strange of a season has it been for Southwestern? Davis, the quarterback here to start tonight. Last week in the loss against Fullerton, 6 catches for 53 yards. So you got guys moving all over the place here. 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen for this 3rd and 6 play. 3-man front for the Bobcats. Here's the snap blitz coming. Davis off the back foot, looking deep, just over the hands of Jordan, who had managed to get maybe a half a step on Fagans. And the Jaguars almost cash in here, but Jordan can't quite find the handle, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Most of the way it looked like Fagans had good coverage, and then the wide receiver just had a little spurt there at the end. It almost looked like he broke free.
Yeah, leading receiver Christian Jordan comes in with 28 catches on the season and can't come up with that one, and it's another 3 and out, and the fast start continues for Saddleback. They'll get it back as McGillicott is on again to punt it away. Here's the snap and the kick away. Barry going to take this one at the 26. Good blocking up front. He's out past the 35 and out to the 40.
I'll tell you what, Southwestern very fortunate that tackle was made, because there was a lot of room if that guy didn't get him.
Barry will get credit for the 41. That's a 15-yard return as we take you back to the near big play for Southwestern. Bobcats again will have solid field position to start at their own 41 as they look to extend on a 14-point lead. And again, it's Wimmer who already has 60 yards on the ground in the backfield behind Drew Nash. Three-man front again for Southwestern. Play action and a designed roll, and the pass intended for Groen, who can't come up with it and then absorbs a big hit for his trouble.
Yeah, you can see that one coming. Nice play by the linebacker there for Southwestern.
Yeah, Jonathan Santos coming up and lowering the boom on Groen. 2nd down and 10 coming up for Saddleback. As I scan the field, I see one notable defensive player for Southwestern out on the field. That's by no means exhaustive, is that search. But I see Andrew Sola, who's among the leading tacklers from his defensive end spot, out on the field. But it's a lot of new numbers for Southwestern here tonight. The Wimmer carry picks up about 3, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that'll happen this time of year when things haven't gone right here for a few weeks and Southwestern has struggled a little bit. You'll all of a sudden see guys decide that they got a Halloween party to go to tonight, Jeff.
Well, it is coming up. 3rd down and 7. Pistol formation. Nash has the snap. They'll go with Wimmer. Off tackle on the left side. Tripped up just shy of 1st down yardage. Out to midfield. It'll bring up a 4th down and 1.
Bobcats' confidence in the running game going 3rd and 7. Handoff. I think they'll probably do the same thing again here. I think they feel pretty good about their chances.
Yeah, they're going to line up to go for it on 4th and 1. And why not? And we have flags before the snap. This is going to be a false start. Getting a signal here in the booth from Director Mike Cepeda. Seldom wrong about these things.
Yeah, that.
Give you a look here as Saddleback. I think Brad is trying to hurry to get to the line.
Yeah, that means it's time to probably punt the football. I didn't really see a lot of movement there. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what they saw, but
Might have been we had that one at field level, so it might have been over here on the near side. Let's see this
here.
one from a different angle.
yeah, maybe they just didn't have enough guys lined up in the line of scrimmage.
Was it maybe Hicks? Are they on the right? I don't want to call anybody out, but 4th down and 6 is the end result, and Saddleback will punt it away. So that might be the first good news if you're a Southwestern fan here tonight. It's the defense able to force the 3 and out, and the Jaguars will get it back at their own 28 with 5:57 to go in the opening quarter.
Well, let's see if the Saddleback defense can come up with a turnover here. Everything's gone right for the offense here until they took that little penalty there and had to give the ball back to Southwestern, but his defenses look good so far through 2 drives.
Yeah, they'll spot it at the 29, and we will see Davis continue in the backfield. Dominic Anderson in the pistol formation. The deep back, and he will get the call. Will cut to his left and falls forward for a gain of about a yard.
Not a lot of push up there right now for that Southwestern offensive line. Saddleback looks like they studied a lot of film. They kind of know what's coming. When you got a lot of guys that just aren't on the roster and a lot of new players out there for Southwestern, you kind of have to simplify the offense. And so far what we've seen from the Jaguars is a very simplistic type offense.
2nd and 9, and it's been an offensive line that has had something of a struggle this season. They've allowed 31 sacks through 6 games. Davis looking to throw under pressure, able to evade and get the pass off, and this one nearly intercepted on the far side, looking in the direction of Jalen Poston.
Yeah, nice play by Steven Gushkin, got a hand in there. Quarterback just doing everything he can to stay alive, but he's one of these guys that's got good feet and he can make a play on the run.
Yeah, James Huffman initially brought the pressure on Davis, and now it's 3rd and 9 for Southwestern. Southwestern this season also something of a struggle running the football, under 2 yards a carry as a team. Some of that, of course, will be skewed by the sack yardage that goes off the rushing totals, but it's a Jaguar team that has had troubles offensively. Davis again in trouble trying to find a lane. He's going to be wrapped up and sacked back near the original line of scrimmage at the 29.
Yeah, Bobcats right now just pinning their ears back there. They're just running free back there, and not a lot of help for the QB.
Yeah, as Davis tried to step up, and it was Sean Owens who eventually was able to wrap him up and bring him down. And for Owens, that'll be his 3rd sack of the season and another 3 and out. So it's a fast start for the Saddleback defense. As good as the Saddleback offense has been so far, it's been an equally impressive start for Saddleback defensively. 3 straight 3 and outs for Southwestern.
Yeah, really the only problem that Saddleback's had so far was that false start that took them out of the 4th and 1. They had to punt.
Short kick from McGillicott, and again, Saddleback will start with very good field position at their own 43 with 4:20 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, this entire game pretty much has taken place on the Southwestern end of the field so far.
Well, the South Division taking shape early. Golden West, a winner earlier today. They're at 3-0 atop the South Division, and Fullerton in action tonight also 2-0. And for these two teams here, they got to work their way up.
Fullerton game got postponed, actually.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I saw it was 2-0. I assume that that meant, but what do they always tell us about assuming things?
Yep.
Meanwhile, another solid carry on first down and near first down yardage again as Jamari Farrell gets the call this time. Nearly 10 yards, and in fact it is 10 yards.
Yeah, not a lot of reasons to do anything else. I mean, when they're giving you 8, 10 a chunk, you can run it and then you can set up a play action and go down deep, and it seems like everything's kind of hitting on all cylinders right now.
1 carry for Farrell, and it's Wimmer back on.
Backup quarterback getting a run.
Try the sweep here with DJ Ralph.
And
he gets to the 44, a gain of 3. There's something you don't see every day.
When I saw Ralph coming across, I thought, well, maybe it's going to be a halfback pass.
Well, you might see that with the Saints, right? Don't they do a little bit of that? They bring their guy on.
Taysom Hill.
That's it. Thank you. I was trying to scanning. I was like, well, I guess you could see that. 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard run by Ralph. Back to Farrell in the backfield. And it's Farrell running left, and he is tripped up at the 40.
Nice tackle there by number 3, Perry Lorenzo.
And Perry Lorenzo, cornerback on, and that saves the first down and will make it 3rd down and 3 for Saddleback. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Incomplete stats on Southwestern, so we can't tell you a lot about how they are on 3rd down this season. But in limited stats, they have had something of a struggle themselves, both stopping the 3rd down and converting themselves. Another carry, and this is going to be a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 4th down. Farrell about a yard shy of first down yardage.
Yeah, I think the Bobcats are a little short, but they're lining up quickly. I think they're going to try to get this one off quick and see if they can catch the Jaguars napping a little bit.
Shades of the last drive, and they'll try to go quickly, and it's Nash on the keeper, and with second effort, he will get it 2 yards on a 4th and 1, and the conversion will move the chains.
Yeah, when you're up 14-0 and your defense hasn't done anything but force a 3 and out, you can afford to go for it.
Yeah, take some chances out there. The drive continues from the Southwestern 36-yard line with a 1st and 10, receivers left and right for Nash. 4-man rush. Nash all kinds of time, guns it deep over the middle and just overshoots his target. He wanted Zachary Roebuck.
Yeah, Roebuck had a step. There was 3 guys back there. They were all trailing him. And Nash just misfired by a hair there. But they clearly have they've clearly got the number of these secondary guys right now. I don't think that's the last you're going to see of that play.
And Nash with all day back there. That is tremendous protection up front. Missed opportunity for the Bobcats, and it brings up a 2nd down and 10 in the pistol formation. Farrell running left, little hesitation now, lowers the shoulder, and gets to the 28. An 8-yard run will bring up a 3rd down and 2. And unless you think you're in field goal range for either Grace or Kaplan, it's hard to imagine that this isn't 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think it's everything's a green light tonight, Jeff.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Quick snap back to Farrell. Farrell, good push up front on that right side. He's got the first down and more. Down to the 18-yard line. 10 more yards on the ground. And
getting up
Jaguars
slow.
Having all kinds of trouble. Yeah, he was dragged down from behind. It looked like Savion Williams, who was just holding on and trying to drag him down. It was a little awkward, but Farrell up on his feet. And it looks like he's going to continue in the game. It's a good effort from Williams just to hang on. But that's a great push on that right side, and Farrell again getting 5-6 yards downfield before he's running into any resistance. Timeout taken, 1:26 to go here in the first quarter, and Saddleback in control. They lead at 14-0 over Southwestern. First and 10 after the Saddleback timeout from the 18-yard line of Southwestern. Bobcats already leading at 14-0 and looking for more. Farrell straight up the middle, another good hole, cuts it back, 10-5. Jamari Farrell with another Saddleback touchdown.
Yeah, he was untouched. Nobody ever touched him. Big hole over the right side. Farrell cuts it back. Nobody home. 20-0 Bobcats. Look at this.
Well, it starts with a good hole up front, and then a little vision that's hard to teach there from Jamari Farrell. Just a good cut. Finds daylight, 18-yard touchdown run for Farrell. That's his second rushing touchdown of the season. And the Bobcats can do seemingly whatever they want here so far. 1:20 to go in the first quarter. They're running the ball, they're passing the ball, and they're shutting down Southwestern on defense. Snap placement down. Grace's kick is up and good. 1:20 to go in the opening quarter. Saddleback leading at 21-0 at Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Well, I guess time is something of a relative thing. I imagine if you ask Saddleback, this first quarter has really flown by. 1:20 and they're up 21-0, but I don't know if you get the same answer on the Southwestern sideline.
Well, I think if you're Saddleback, this just feels great. I mean,
right.
After the frustration that they've gone through over the last 4 weeks, to see your guys see a smile on their face again and see your team ahead and having fun. I mean, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. The object right now is to go 3-0 the rest of the way.
Yep.
And you can only win one at a time. They say that, what do they say? Winning's the great elixir.
Yep.
And,
Well, again, going back to what we talked a little bit about with Saddleback, it's an interesting tale this season. If you're Saddleback, you look at the last 4 games: Ventura, Mount Sac, at Mesa, at Golden West. That's a gauntlet of a schedule. That's 3 of the top teams.
Yeah, and you played Riverside at the beginning of the year, right?
A Mesa team that is a very, very solid football team, and you're on the road when you play them, and it's just that is a tough portion of the schedule. And the Bobcats get something of a reprieve here tonight against a team that's struggling in Southwestern, and they're taking full advantage. And you can see, again, the kind of talent that Saddleback brings to the table that they maybe haven't been able to show against such a tough run in the schedule. Deep pass incomplete, and it's a 2nd and 10 for Southwestern.
Yeah, misfired on that one. Wide receiver zigged. He was supposed to zag, and the ball went in the zag pattern.
Well, it's, again, typical of what you might see when there's so much shuffling in terms of personnel on both sides of the ball for Southwestern. Davis back at quarterback. And, again, Post and the intended receiver.
I think, what did you say, he was playing wide receiver a week ago?
Yeah,
now he's
absolutely.
playing quarterback. That's never a good sign.
Yeah, Southwestern this season trying to set what might be a 3C2A record for number of quarterbacks that they're using. It's been a lot. Again, Davis in all kinds of trouble and now loses his footing. And he'll go down back at the 9. It'll be an easy sack for Sean Owens, who just has to put a couple of hands on him.
Okay, the Bobcats are really only rushing 3 or 4 guys. And
yeah, Dusan, again, able to work his way free. And Davis in trouble. And as he starts to scramble, loses his footing. And now it's 3rd and 15. Southwestern, with 42 seconds remaining in this first quarter, still looking for their first down tonight.
Yeah, it's looks like a rugged night ahead for the quarterback here for the Jaguars, but a lot of time left. We've seen Saddleback turn things around over a half.
Straight drop for Davis, now under pressure, rolling away. He is sacked back inside the 5. Managed to stay out of the end zone. It's back at the 2-yard line where he is brought down by Angelo Rooks as Rooks comes on a very delayed blitz. In fact, I think he's just kind of shadowing Davis there, if I had to guess. But once Davis starts to scramble, Rooks able to chase him down, wrap him up, and the Southwestern offense goes backwards back to their own 2-yard line where they'll have to punt it away when we return for the start of the second quarter with Saddleback leading at 21-0. Start of the second quarter from Saddleback Stadium, and it is all Bobcats leading at 21-0 as McGillicott will come out and punt from the shadow of his own goalpost to get things started, and the Bobcats figure to get very good field position again coming out of this.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep his feet off that back end line. You don't want to get a safety here and then have to punt it away.
And McGillicott able to get it out, but taken by Berry at the 30. Berry breaks a tackle at the 20. He's inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. That's a great play by Berry, taking the low kick, moving up here, seeing the opportunity.
Yeah, the Bobcats didn't have anybody really deep on that kick. I mean, Berry was only lined up at about the 35.
Yeah, it's a 28-yard kick and a 17-yard return. And Saddleback goes to work at the Southwestern 13, where they'll have a chance to stretch the lead even more.
Well, if you're Saddleback, it's got to feel good after some frustrating weeks to see yourself finding pay dirt again.
They'll spot it at the 14, and Thodius Ashley able to fall forward to the 10. 4-yard run for Anthodius Ashley, as you see. Again, good power running from Ashley. Hit it about the 12, but able to move the pile for a couple of more yards and get to the 10. 2nd down and 6. Ashley will remain in the deep I. Read option. Nash on the keeper, but he is tripped up at the 7. About a yard or two, I should say about 3 yards shy of the first down.
It's a good play call there, and a really nice play by the defensive player because,
Jordan Lawson coming up.
Yeah, they had the defense in the mindset of, okay, they're just going to run it right up the railroad. They've been running right up the middle, and then all of a sudden quarterback keeps it. So I think it's a heck of a play call, but it was a nice read by the linebacker.
Jumbo package as Calvin Tubbs comes on at fullback with Ashley in the deep I. Ashley on the carry, little hesitation, and now churns the legs. He's inside the 5, down to the 3. That was a play that initially appeared to be pretty well stopped by the Southwestern defense. Good push up front, but great patience by Ashley.
Yeah, wonderful play there because it would have been very simple for him just to run up to the backside of the lineman and run himself into trouble, but he stopped, stutter-stepped, and then he hit the Jets.
They'll stay in the I formation from the 3. Ashley gets the call again, this time running up the back of his offensive lineman and getting in for the touchdown.
Nothing fancy right there if you're the Bobcats. Student body left, student body right. And
yeah, running behind the left side of that offensive line.
Yeah,
and
big
the Bobcats,
72, Charlie Weiler.
Yeah, Charlie Weiler already. The Bobcats are starting to rotate more in on that offensive line. Weiler had some action earlier in the season at the center position, back in there, and he leads Ashley into the end zone, a 3-yard touchdown run, and Saddleback adds to the lead. It's now 28-0 as they tack on the extra point with 13:11 remaining here in the second quarter. The lead for Saddleback after the touchdown run by Anthodius Ashley. And Brad, taking a look at some of the scores from around the 3C2A, we mentioned the Glendale win and how that was a high water mark for Saddleback with the big win that they had back in week 1. But you look, after a Glendale win today at LA Harbor, they're 5-2 on the season.
A lot of interesting games today. Ventura was in big trouble. They were down 13 in the fourth quarter up at Allen Hancock.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
Ended up coming back and winning by a point.
Yeah, dramatic stuff. And that's always such a tough place to travel.
Any given weekend in this game, I tell you, it's there's only 2 teams that I have in my JC Gridiron rankings that seem like a for sure right now, and that's San Mateo and San Francisco. I mean, those 2 teams have just really been on a roll all season long up north.
Yeah, I think the playoff picture may be starting to coalesce a little bit in the South, but it's very wide open, I think, at the top. You look at how good has Golden West been. And right now they're leading in the South, though, as you point out. Fullerton's still undefeated in conference play. And then up north, Canyons and Ventura, and then Mount San Antonio College has also been off to a good start again this season.
Yeah, you can never count out Riverside. And, it just seems really up in the air down south.
Davis on a designed roll, little stutter step, now throws on the run and threads it in. A big play for Southwestern all the way into Bobcat territory, down inside the 30. That's a great throw by Davis as he finds Rayshawn Holscher.
Yeah, good control along the sidelines as well for Holscher. He makes a catch. So he views the sideline.
I can't believe he was able to get this ball in.
Look at that. That's really good footwork there.
As Holscher, who was a guy who was pretty well down the depth chart to start the season, had a couple of catches last week in the loss, but he steps up into a much more prominent role, and he turns in a big play there for Southwestern, and finally a highlight for the Jaguars as they get to the Saddleback 30.
First down for the Jaguars, is it not?
I believe it is.
A flag on the play here.
Robinson in the backfield now.
I think the play
behind
clock
Davis,
ran out.
and we do have a delay of game against Southwestern, so they'll back themselves up to the 35.
That was a nice throw, really, along the sidelines, and it was a tough catch, low ball. Had to go down and get it.
Elijah Robinson in the backfield for Southwestern. Again, you take a look at some of the stats, and Robinson this season does not have a carry. And he is to the right of Davis, now to the left. Southwestern in a bunch formation on 1st and 15. Davis, again under pressure, flushed from the pocket, steps up and fires and completes back near the original line of scrimmage as he finds Dorsey for a gain of about 4 to the 32-yard line. Call it 3, and a 2nd and 12 coming up.
It's a nice throw by Davis. He had a lot of pressure coming and turned, throw, and
I'm going to
right on the money.
Didn't really have a chance to talk to Ed Carberry this week, but I'm going to step on a limb here and say that Davis, at the very least, played some quarterback in high school.
Yeah, no, there's no question.
I think he's has the comfort back there that he's been back there before, and he is settling in after a great throw to Holscher. Blitz coming, good protection. Davis looking deep, incomplete, overshoots his target.
Yeah, again, it just looked like there was two guys on a different page there.
Yeah, that was Timothy Christopher.
Looked like Christopher wanted to head towards the goalpost on a little post pattern, and quarterback thought he was running a quarter pattern. And
if you're thinking about the field goal on a 3rd and 12 here for Southwestern, this is well within the range of kicker Asher Booth. We assume that Asher Booth is still there and available tonight, but he has 2 kicks this season of over 50 yards. So even at 49 yards, this is in Booth's range.
Yeah, down 28-0 would be an interesting choice if they had to make it.
Well, I think at this point, if you're Southwestern, you might just think about the positivity of getting on the board. Another throw on the run, and Sanders gets in to break up the pass intended for Poston.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here on a 4th and 12 from the 32. And I think there's something to be said, Brad, sometimes even in a one-sided game, for getting on the board. Long way to go.
Indeed, it is.
Let's
going
take a
to
look
be
at
a
some
kicker
scores
out there. If it's the same guy you're talking about, then
well, is it number 27? Where we've got the scores up here around the SCFA. Give you a quick look.
It does look like a 7 on one side of the jersey. So Asher Booth going to give it a go from 49.
4 of 7 on the season.
Bobcats
good penetration.
blocked it.
This one blocked. No chance for Booth. And the block field goal, and Bobcats still playing. So they try to return this one. I think this one's going to be spotted back near the original line of scrimmage, and that was great penetration.
Yeah, I think Chad Nushie ended up coming up with the ball. I'm not sure who got the block. It was near side, but
maybe we can look one more time at that one on the edge there if we have a chance. And, Mike, see if we can slow that down a little bit, Mike.
Saddleback's been very good at this all season long. Remember, they got some kicks early on.
Yeah, that looks like Gushkin, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And unblocked off the edge, and a great job as he lays out and gets a piece. And Southwestern turned away on their first scoring chance of the night. And Saddleback continues with the 28-0 lead, and they'll have it at their own 32, 1st and 10. Wimmer back on in the backfield. Nash still at quarterback, and Wimmer hit behind the line. Managed to fall forward for a gain of about a yard. That's a great job by Wimmer, who was hit behind the line by Jace Fuamatu. And still managed to drag a couple of defensive linemen for about a yard to at least salvage something.
Bowden Groen comes off the field, inserted into the lineup. Darius Maxwell, see if it's more of a passing situation here now for the Bobcats.
It is a 2nd and 9. Maxwell already with a touchdown reception tonight. Couple of touchdown passes. Hicks, who has a touchdown catch, now in motion. 4-man rush. Nash with good time, steps up, fires over the middle, and completes. Into Jaguar territory at the 46 as he finds Simeon Morton.
Nice play right there. He and Martin were on the same page. Wide open was Martin. Just found a little soft spot in the zone. First down, Bobcats.
And again, it starts with excellent protection. And boy, if you're Drew Nash, you're having some fun back there because he has got all day to throw. 5 of 7. Big hole for Wimmer. First down to the 35-yard line, an 11-yard run for Wimmer, who is moving toward 100 yards on the ground already. He's now got 81 yards on 10 carries.
Everything going right now.
This feels like one of those games where, draw the baseball analogy, when a team's really getting a lot of hits in and everybody can't wait to get to the plate.
That's right, yeah.
Nash against the blitz, steps up, hit as he throws, has a man, it's Maxwell. It's another Bobcat touchdown.
Yeah, Maxwell found his way up the sidelines. I couldn't see if it was a little curl route or what it was. But
this is a great throw by Nash because he's got someone right in his face, and you see he takes a shot there. But Maxwell gets behind his defender. I believe it was Elijah Williams, and Maxwell gets himself a couple of yards free, and that's a strike from Drew Nash.
I said curl route. I meant wheel route, obviously, along the sidelines. But, guys are just wide open. I mean, it's pitch and catch right now for Drew Nash.
9 catches, 3 touchdowns on the season now for Darius Maxwell. Is it time to say all Darius Maxwell does is score touchdowns?
That's right.
Continues to be a playmaker here for the Bobcats, who now lead at 35-0 with 9:17 to go here in the first half. Saddleback football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Saddleback set to kick off. 9:17 to go in the first half. And this has been a clinic from Saddleback against Southwestern here over the first 20-plus minutes as they lead at 35-0.
That's a big kick right there. The thing went about 5 yards deep into the end zone.
And the Jaguars will come on again with Davis continuing at quarterback. And well, the last time at least got something going offensively, and big play to Holscher, and they got themselves into Bobcat territory. Again, their first down tonight came on that drive. We'll see if they can build a little bit on that momentum with Robinson in the backfield. And that looked like possible miscommunication between Davis and Robinson, and Davis ends up keeping it as he runs left, knocked out of bounds after a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, flag on the play, too, laying out there at around the 24. You see it right there on the screen.
Yeah, this is where you might expect to see a hold. See what the call is and take a look at some of the scores from around the SCFA and see Riverside in action tonight at El Camino early in the second quarter. And the Tigers, who somewhat uncharacteristically, Brad, they have a couple of losses this season, and that's something that always makes you maybe take a double take when you see it happen. But
two Heckle and Jekyll teams there at the bottom right, Palomar, Cerritos. You never really know what you're going to get out of those two teams. Cerritos beats El Camino last week, and now they're down a touchdown to Palomar.
35-0 here. Second down, or I should say first down and 20 after they assess the penalty against Southwestern. They'll give to Robinson running left, and he pushes the pile for a gain of about 3 out to the 18.
We'll see what Southwestern's got up their sleeve now. They're in a pretty tough spot, down 35-0, and At this point, the game's practically over already, Jeff. I mean, you got to wonder if they're just going to keep it on the ground and try to get this game moving along.
Well, you see that sometimes, and obviously you expect in the second half, if it continues to be this one-sided, that Kerry Crabb is going to also do a little bit of that, I would think, keep the ball on the ground. Although they're so effective and they're dominating so much up front that it might be kind of hard to really slow it down because they're having so much success running the ball. Davis can't find anyone downfield and eventually just heads out of bounds, gets what he can out to the 27. That ends up being a pickup of 9, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 9. And this is a good job by the Saddleback secondary. Davis, you can see continuing to scan, but nowhere to go with that football.
Another 3rd and long situation for the Jaguars. I think they got, one first down for the game so far?
Yeah, I believe that's right. And predictably, it's been a struggle on 3rd down. They're 0 of 5. Talked about the incomplete stats this season for Southwestern, but in the 2 games where they had stats, they were under 30%. And obviously, looking at their offensive numbers, you would have to assume that that has been an area of opportunity for Southwestern, as it's been a struggle offensively overall. Timeout on the field, 7:46 to go here in the first half, and Saddleback in front 35-0 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third down and 9 from the Southwestern 27. Davis with the snap. Again, throws off the back foot and completes. First down, finding Jordan out to the 47.
Nice little play there. It doesn't look like a guy who was playing wide receiver weeks ago, Jeff. He looks clearly, you mentioned it earlier, that he must have played some quarterback when he was in high school.
Yeah, it takes a little bit off of that throw, puts a little air under it, but leads Jordan perfectly and finds him out to the 46. That's a good throw, good catch, and a first down for Southwestern. They can continue the drive from their own 46. Davis fakes, now running left. He's into Saddleback territory at the 46. That's an 8-yard run for Davis and a 2nd and 2 upcoming for Southwestern.
A little bit of something there. Clearly the best drive of the night for the Jaguars. They started, deep in their own end, and they've finally moved it across midfield.
Yeah, 2nd straight drive for Southwestern where they've gotten something positive going at least. They're back in Saddleback territory trying to get on the board. Robinson gets the call. He is tripped up but falls forward for a first down. 3-yard run on a 2nd and 2 will move the chains. And you see Elijah Robinson and Sierra getting in there, wrapping him up around the legs, but Robinson keeps working for a gain of 3 and a first down.
Saddleback continuing to rotate a lot of new bodies in there.
1st and 10 from the 43. Quick pitch to Robinson on the far side. Good running room for Robinson. Getting into the Saddleback secondary all the way down to the 26-yard line. That's a 17-yard run for Robinson.
Robinson's a big kid, boy. You don't want to get in the way of those legs. He is thick.
Good burst. Once he found a lane, they'll spot it at the 25 after an 18-yard run by Elijah Robinson.
They list him at 5'11", 2 1/4, and
I think they're underselling it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Elijah might be just a few pounds heavier now that the season's gone on a little bit. They fake to Robinson. Davis in trouble in the backfield, but able to weave his way forward for a gain of a couple. And that was a good job by Davis to avert a loss and at least turn it into some kind of positive yardage.
A lot of Bobcats there waiting for him, though. There was 4 or 5 guys that he had to try to wiggle his way through. So we got, a 2nd and long here, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8?
Yeah, eventually I believe it was Drew Hernandez that finally was able to wrap up Davidson, but he's slippery, is Keanu Davis. So it's a pickup of 2 and a 2nd and 8 for Southwestern, and they're in no particular hurry. And at this point, I think you could hardly blame them if they wanted to give their defense a little bit of a rest. They've had a long first half already. Davis, deep drop, looking into the end zone.
Touchdown.
Still no signal, and it is a touchdown as Jordan makes the catch.
That's a nice play. They got some single coverage out there on the edge. Fagans bites on a little hitch move, and
yeah, Jordan battling against Fagans and does come down with the ball.
Yeah, it's hard to say if that was a back shoulder or just underthrown. It's hard to believe there would be a back shoulder that far down the field, but
2nd touchdown reception of the season for leading receiver Christian Jordan. As Davis puts it up and says to Davis, just go get it, and he does.
Got something to play about now, right? I mean, didn't look so good for first 25 minutes or 20 minutes, but that's a nice drive there by Southwestern. They went all the way down the field.
Started with some good running up front. Elijah Robinson and Davis, and then it's Davis going back to Jordan, who had a couple of catches on that drive, including the touchdown reception, to get Southwestern on the board with 5:07 remaining here in the first half.
Seeing a lot of great camera angles there from the folks here at SoCal College Sports. Mike Zepeda and company, the staff, a lot of cameras, a lot of angles. Pretty good stuff here at this level. We're proud to have them on campus here
we got you
Saddleback.
up high. We bring you down to the field. We got every angle here. All right. Also see late in the second quarter in Canyons with a 7-0 lead at East Los Angeles.
Now Zepeda's just showing off. Look at this. He's bringing up scoreboards, the whole thing.
Nah, he's already done it. Always looking. He's just very innovative. He's always looking for something new. They kick away. And
see if Southwestern's got something up their sleeve here. Maybe they try an
flags
onside kick.
Before the kick. And we'll do it again.
When you get all this running, though, the clock is moving along here. We're already at just about 5 minutes here, hour into this thing.
It's been a fast-moving first half, and not a lot of penalties. I think that's always something that slows it down a little bit. But I'll tell you what else we haven't seen a lot of tonight that tends to slow down the game. We haven't seen a lot of incompletions.
Exactly.
It's been very efficient offensively. And you go back to the last 2 drives, you include Southwestern in that. A couple of good drives here late in the first half to at least start to get something going. Low line drive kick taken at the 15 and out to the 30, 35, still looking for a lane, and now wrapped up. Not quite.
Uh-oh.
We're still going.
Look at this.
Now heading back the other way, back to the 20, 25, 30. Is there going to be some room here
He's
on
gassed.
the near side?
Look at him. He's
45, 40. Down to the 30-yard line. And finally wrapped up at about the 24-yard line.
I think he ran out of gas. Look at him.
Daniel Stokes on the return.
That was a fun play. I think he ran probably 150 yards on this
exactly.
play.
That was a 275-yard return for Daniel Stokes in terms of how far he ran. He ended up at the 24.
He got about to midfield, and he was just gassed. He wanted nothing to do.
Technically a 61-yard return for Stokes, who no doubt felt like he just ran at least a half marathon.
Yeah, I think it was 161 yards.
And Stokes a little slow getting up, and it's hard to know if it was the hit or if he's still just trying to catch his breath.
It's like Zepeda climbing Veterans Memorial.
So they will help Daniel Stokes to get to the sideline if ever there was a player in the history of the 3C2A who needed a rest.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of flack about that one.
There he
is. You
is.
can see it tonight after the game.
I'm going to tell Daniel Stokes his new position, I think, is offensive line or something.
He's a
he
marathon
had that
runner.
look of the guy who was running out of gas.
You might want to try out for the cross-country team.
All for naught. Hold.
We do have a flag down, so
Are you kidding me?
this is insult to injury there, as a lot of this is going to come back for Daniel Stokes. And maybe, in a moment, that's probably what Daniel Stokes will tell you. Said, I saw the flag go down, so I didn't need to run as hard at the end there because I knew that was coming back. And so why really push myself out there, when I know the play's coming back? I'm just trying to give him his motivation. So this one will come all the way back to the 25-yard line after the circus return by Daniel Stokes.
Didn't they kick off with 5:07?
Right?
That play took 25 seconds.
And I got to tell you, that does not strike me as a clock error. I think that was just about the timing of it.
5:01 officially. I think it was a 20-second play. DJ Ralph
keep it on the
game
ground.
now.
First down with Ralph on at quarterback, and the handoff and a gain of 6 out to the 31-yard line, and a little slow getting up, trying to get a number. That's Jack St. Fleur on for his first carry tonight.
Every time Jack St. Fleur gets on the field, something happens.
He has been a playmaker as well. Starts with a 6-yard run there. Did miss the game last week. But back on. Fourth back of the night for Saddleback to get a carry. And they have been effective up and down. Touchdown runs for Ashley and Farrell. Wimmer with 87 yards on the ground. They'll stay with St. Fleur in the backfield. Ralph for his first throw, looking deep, has a man again, and completes it. Hicks down to the 22-yard line. Hicks again working against Elijah Williams over on that far side, and Ralph steps right in where Nash left off and delivers another strike.
Boy, Saddleback quarterback's on fire tonight. They're just hitting everything right in the numbers.
And again, it's hard to underestimate just how good this offensive line has been for Saddleback. And again, now Ralph completely comfortable, has time to throw, and steps up. And you give these guys time, and they can put on a show. St. Fleur weaving his way, now finds a little lane. He's at the 15.
Got a hold
to
right
the
there.
10, and he is hobbling noticeably. You can see there that Jack St. Fleur really laboring.
You're going to see 3 going to get a holding call right here, Jeff.
Yeah. Is that Hicks right at the end. And so St. Fleur, who does appear to be struggling, is going to lose some of that yardage as Saddleback will back themselves up. 3:25 remaining here in the first half, and they'll move it back to the 28. That's a tough break after St. Fleur had done some good work.
Yeah.
And found his way free, and then downfield, the holding call will take back much of that yardage. 1st and 16 now from the 28.
Can't get Jack St. Fleur off the field, though. He's still out there.
That is hard to believe, the way that he was really noticeably struggling on that run. Play action. Ralph, flushed from the pocket, tries to leap a tackler. He is sent out of bounds. Modest gain on the play for Ralph. And, well, let's take a look at the vertical. He's going to come right at you here.
Nicely done. Probably ill-advised. I wouldn't do it, Jeff. Mike Zepeda might try that.
Deedon Hayden was the one who managed to trip him up, if you could call it that, when it's your shoulder that does it. Gain of about a yard will bring up a 2nd down and 15 from the 27 of Southwestern. Snap to Ralph. Stepping up in the pocket, all kinds of room. He's at the 20. Wrapped up and brought down at the 19. 8-yard run for DJ Ralph will bring up a 3rd down and 7 for Saddleback.
Yeah, it's more manageable. He cut the yardage in half. And, you know, we've already seen the success Saddleback's had on the ground. This might be 4-down territory, but, you know, now it's at least 3rd and manageable at 3rd and 7.
And Saddleback can let the clock run to 2:08 and counting remaining in the first half as Ralph will bring the Bobcats to the line, facing a 3rd and 7. Saddleback tonight, 3 of 5 on 3rd down. They'll send Hicks in motion. Barry solo to the left. Ralph looking right. Now starts to roll, still looking downfield, throws back and has a man wide open.
That's just a heck of a read.
It's Cooper with a touchdown this time.
That's just a heck of a read. You could see him. He moved the linebackers with his eyes. Look at this. He's looking left, and then he sees the guy on the right. And he had 32 going in the wrong direction. That's just a really nice play by DJ Ralph.
And Jeremy Cooper, who didn't get into the scorebook a week ago for Saddleback, no catches in the game, gets his first catch tonight and turns it into 6. It's a 41-7 lead now for Saddleback. And the extra point pending with 1:45 to go here in the first half. And boy, oh boy, the clinic continues. Saddleback really having their way. Especially now offensively, where I believe it's a score on every drive. We had one, I think, where they did have to punt when they had the fourth down.
Yeah, we had the fourth
down. They lined up to go for it and had the penalty, and they had to punt it away. But it's 7 drives and 6 touchdowns here in the first half for Saddleback, and a 42-7 lead with 1:45 to go in the first half. Saddleback football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. $1:45 to go in the first half. And Saddleback leading it 42-7. And after a struggle over the last 6 quarters plus for the Bobcats, in which they scored only 3 points, they have exploded here in the first half against Southwestern with 42 on the board.
Another booming kickoff goes midway through the end zone, and once again.
Yeah, not much chance for Southwestern to mount any kind of return.
No.
With 1:45 to go, they will go back on offense with 2 timeouts.
Who was that man with the big leg? It was Connor Grace.
But this one already looking like one that you pretty well can put in the book for Saddleback. Of course, I suppose it's possible that anything could happen, but the way it looks right now,
yeah, I'm seeing a lot of new uniforms.
Saddleback completely in control.
A lot of new uniforms out there. Saddleback, Mason Young in the game. Back at the safety now. It looks like
Robinson with a little cutback.
Trevor Romaldo back in there at safety now.
Out to the 35-yard run for Robinson. 2nd down and 5, and Southwestern going to be content to move at a somewhat more measured pace here. Under 2 minutes to go. See Owens in on the tackle. Once again for Saddleback. Davis so far in the first half, 5 of 11 for 85 yards and a touchdown. Also 14 yards rushing as he has been under constant pressure. But Saddleback with just a couple of sacks in the first half as Davis guns and completes on the near side. This is enough for another first down as he finds Jaquan Dorsey out to the 43. 13-yard gain.
Good tackle by Juan Lua out there. He was on an island and came up, wrapped him up by the legs. I like to see that.
And for Dorsey, that's his 3rd catch here in the first half. But the first couple were those quick pitches that we saw in the first couple of drives, one of which he fumbled. So Dorsey able to get downfield and make a play. Davis with time now starts to scramble, still directing traffic downfield. A little cutback at the 45 and falls forward to the 49. A gain of 6.
Saddleback just rushing 3 on that play. So he had a lot of time and good ability to, good footwork to create more time for himself.
And again, it was Owens and Nushi able to finally get back, but Davis will make you work. That defensive line. We talked about the running of Daniel Stokes in this first half and how long he ran, but Saddleback, the good news is been able to generate a lot of pressure, and I suppose the bad news for them is they've had to do a lot of running chasing Keanu Davis around.
Yeah, he's a quick guy. He's got good feet. You can tell he's a good athlete. Doesn't surprise me to hear he was playing wide receiver earlier in the season.
Meanwhile, timeout on the field, 28 seconds remaining here in the first half. And for Southwestern, they're at the 49, and one more big play here, and maybe they could take a shot at a field goal here late in this first half.
As you mentioned earlier, their kicker's got a big leg. Connected from, what did you say, 50 a couple times this year?
Yeah, one of them, in looking back over the season for Southwestern, going back a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago, a tight win against Chaffee College, and it was Booth that hit from 51 yards with just over a minute remaining to give Southwestern a 26-24 win against the Panthers. Low throw, Jordan goes down but can't come up with it.
Flag on the play out around the 50.
Do have a flag down. It is a 3rd and 4 with 23 seconds, but let's see what the penalty is. Offsides against Saddleback. So this will give Southwestern a first down. But of more import at this point is the clock, which is now at 23 seconds. It was Saddleback, or I should say it was the Jaguars that took the timeout a moment ago. So they're down to 1.
You got to figure he's probably got to get it down to at least the 35 to have a legitimate shot, even if you got a big leg.
That would be another 11 yards as it's at the Saddleback 46 right now. Davis with the snap. Delayed blitz. Good protection. Davis steps up, fires, and completes near the 40, but still in bounds. This is a gain of just 4 yards, and it's at 14 seconds. This isn't enough for a first down. The clock's not moving, and I believe
I think the Jaguars took
Jaguars
their final
will have
timeout.
taken their final timeout. Didn't see an official indication, but it looks like that's what it has to be. After a 4-yard gain, the final timeout here in the first half for Southwestern as they have it 2nd and 6 at the Saddleback 42. You're watching Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Second down and 6 from the 42. Snap to Davis, 3-man rush. Davis steps up, throws on the near side, and the catch is made down to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you can see that it looks as if they might, well, maybe they're not playing for a field goal here.
Timothy Christopher able to tiptoe the sideline down to 8 seconds. 1st and 10 at the 34, and we will see the field goal unit come on. This will be a 51-yard attempt for Asher Booth.
We've seen a lot of long ones this year. That first game out at Riverside, the guy there kicked a couple of big long boots, 57-yarder if I recall. Unusual, lengthy field goals these days, not only in college football,
Placement
but
down.
in the
This
pros
one's
ranks.
blocked again. Again, it was off the edge. Good penetration. And I want to say it was Gushikin again. Very similar to the first attempt from Booth. And let's see if maybe we can get that from a different angle. I don't know if we got it from the sideline. It was hard to tell there. But either way, again, it was off of that left side defensively. And they got into the backfield. And again, Booth, just not much of a chance. So the block kick. We'll give it back to Saddleback. Time enough to run one more play here with 1 second left, but they're going to take a 42-7 lead, we would believe, into the locker room.
We'll see if Saddleback just takes a knee here. And
they'll spawn it at the 38-yard line. One more time there. Yeah, and that's Gushikin. And, Brad, as I'm watching it there, I think it's Gushikin unblocked both times off the edge.
Yeah, he's been really good at that all season long. I mean, he's been a weapon from that spot on the field.
Well, Ralph is going to come out in the shotgun, and they're going to keep it on the ground with Wimmer. And Wimmer takes a big hit at the 38 down to the 39, and that'll do it for the first half. Halftime here from Saddleback, 42-7. Bobcats on top of the Jaguars at Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the second half was Saddleback leading it 42-7 over Southwestern. The Bobcats looking to break the 4-game losing streak and pick up their first conference win of the season, and they are well on their way. Southwestern, after deferring, winning the opening toss, will have the ball here to start the third quarter. The kick away. And another long kick from Connor Grace, and Grace pretty much without fail has been able to put it through the end zone on every kickoff so far here tonight. Scarcely remember a Southwestern return. And they'll once again start after the touchback. A lot of domination in the first half stats. Might have had a chance to look, but 19 first downs for Saddleback in the first half. 186 yards net passing, 169 yards net rushing for Saddleback. And the domination only continues on the defensive side of the ball as well. And first play to start the second half, and a flag. And this will likely go against Southwestern, and it will, so it'll back them up here to start this opening drive of the third quarter. Equal parts domination, running, and passing the ball for Saddleback offensively. 4 touchdown passes between Nash and Ralph, who were a combined 8 of 10 for 186 yards in the first half. And it's been the ability to get the ball downfield as well that has been no doubt a welcome sight on that Saddleback sideline. You go back to the loss a week ago at Golden West, and the Bobcats completed 21 passes in that game for 108 yards. That's a little over 5 yards per reception. Yeah. Tonight, that number is over 23 yards per reception.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the first half. They just didn't take a lot of shots downfield last week, and it's got to feel pretty good. Those quarterbacks give them a chance to air out that arm a little bit.
Davis running right and brought down after a modest gain. So a second down and 10. In fact, it was no gain for Davis on the scramble. Couldn't outrun Keegan Northerton, as Northerton tracked him down. Second down and 10, pistol formation for the Jaguars. Snap to Davis. The fake to Robinson. Northerton again bringing the pressure. Davis on the run, throwing downfield. And the pass incomplete. He was looking for Christopher.
Good coverage there by Mason Young along the sidelines.
So a third down and 10. We'll give you one more look here at the replay from field level. And Northerton ends up coming free here. But Davis, good elusiveness, able to buy himself a few more seconds and then throw on the run. And, yeah, good luck one-on-one trying to bring down Davis. The Bobcats have done a pretty good job a few times tonight, but again, Davis very elusive, able to at least get the pass off, but very quickly, Southwestern facing a 3rd and 10 on this opening drive. 4-man rush. Davis in the pocket, feeling the pressure, gets away from Jones. Another good move. Davis with time now, throws it, it's picked off. Fagans stepping in front, has the interception, returns it to the 25. First turnover tonight for either team, and it's Southwestern as Fagans picks off the pass from Davis.
Just a matter of time, really. He was running for his life back there, and young kid's just trying to make a play. His team's down 5 touchdowns, and Fagans, nice job, kind of waiting in the weeds there.
Fagans with his 3rd interception on the season to lead the team. Both of these teams have struggled in terms of turnovers this season. Southwestern now -7 turnover differential with the interception from Davis. Ralph on at quarterback, stepping up. He's going to tuck it and run. Stiff arms a man, but is brought down at the 20. That's a nice job by Williams. So Adrian Williams able to hold on.
Yeah, good patience by DJ Ralph there. He really wanted to throw that ball, and there's nobody open. And took the second best option. Took a little seam up the middle, gets himself 6 yards.
Brings up a 2nd and 4. Wimmer behind Ralph. Saddleback after the interception. Moving into the red zone. Read option. Running room for Ralph. 15, 10, 5. Hit at the 3. and falls forward to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, you can see DJ Ralph about midway. He just goes, wait, hold on, there's nobody here. Right there. He's like, oh, I guess I'll just run it.
Yeah, Terry Wright eventually with the stop. And Ralph, you can see there, you get down there, DJ Ralph, he's an effective runner, and part of it is good size. He's got good feet. But Wright gives up his body there to make the stop, but it's an 18-yard run. Wimmer running right, still looking for a lane. Now hit at the 3, cut down after a gain of perhaps a yard, getting to the 2. Williams coming up to make the stop. Wimmer trying to keep that play alive, but ultimately couldn't find a lane. 2nd and goal now from the 1.
A lot of guys for the Jaguars there just kind of staying at home and staying in their position, and Wimmer just kept running down along the line of scrimmage trying to find a spot. There was nothing open.
So a 2nd and goal from the 1. As Ralph under center on the keeper, and Ralph falls forward. It's a Bobcat touchdown. Well, that's the 3rd rushing touchdown tonight. First for Ralph. And it's 48-7 as the Fagan's interception leads to the short field. The Bobcats take over at the Southwestern 26 and punch it in. Most of it courtesy of DJ Ralph's feet.
Yeah, he gives you that other option when you're running the read option. He does have good feet, and he can run, and Southwestern just not enough guys to cover him.
We've seen Grace. We've seen Kaplan on extra points tonight. Now back to Grace, who puts it through. 49-7, 12-16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Bobcat explosion continues. It's Saddleback football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Well, what can you say about Saddleback tonight? It has been domination in every phase, and that time the defense gets the turnover, gets the short field, and the offense takes it in as Ralph, with the 1-yard sneak, pushes it to a 49-7 lead.
Yeah, if you're Saddleback and the coaches and all the players, this is kind of the one you've been waiting for all year, and it's finally here, and it doesn't make the losses go away, but it certainly makes you feel a lot better, at least for one night.
9 yard, or taken from the 9, I should say, as Grace finally leaves one in play. Good coverage by the Bobcat kick coverage team, and Southwestern will start from inside the 20 after the short return.
Let's see what the Jaguars come up with now. If we've got an injured player, I guess, out around the 45-yard line for Southwestern, so they got some of the crew out there attending to that guy there.
McGee on the return, and they will give him the 21. It's a 12-yard return. And again, a brief injury timeout as we do have a Southwestern player down out near midfield. Let's take a short break on Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. First and 10 Southwestern from the 21.
Training staff from Southwestern helping Kaiser Cambria Cho off the field. Good to see him up and trying to limp off the field.
Robinson in the backfield with Davis at the controls. This one has been all Saddleback from the outset, scoring on the opening drive on a long drive and really not taking their foot off the gas the entire time. Completion to McGee out to the 26-yard line. That is a 5-yard gain, and it brings up a 2nd down and 5.
Watch Mason Young on this play. He misses the tackle here, and he gets back up and makes the tackle there. I mean, that's just good hustle.
Finally, I see what that drill is about. I'm going back to watching Remember the Titans. You go down, pop back up. There it is. That's
yeah.
It all makes sense. 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard catch and run by McGee. This is Robinson, good lane, and appears to have enough for a 1st down. Tripped up by Northerton at the 32. The 6-yard run will move the chains.
Jeff, I don't think you want to run into that guy. I've seen you out there in the field. You're fleet of foot, but you don't
right?
match up well.
I had a little bit of quickness 35 years ago.
Yeah, Elijah Robinson, I don't think that's a good matchup for you.
That's
a big kid running through the line there. I wouldn't want to hit him.
Luckily, at this point, I would almost undoubtedly trip and fall on my way out to the field before I even ran into a player. So, which would be good news in the end for me. 1st and 10 from the 32. Play action. Davis might be a broken play. Now just has to pick his way forward, get what he can out to the 34. 2-yard gain will bring up a 2nd down and 8. Northerton again on the stop for Saddleback.
One of the linemen up front there for Southwestern, Christian De La Cruz, he's putting his hand on his face mask and looking at the referee like, I got face masked. And
yeah, by the way,
no call.
Yeah, it was interesting watching Davis on that play. By the way he reacted, I wonder if that was a broken play. It looked like it might have been play action, but Davis for a moment seemed perplexed as to what to do, just for a brief beat before eventually just working his way forward for a gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8. Play action. Davis, blitz coming, gets away from Rooks, completes the pass to Dorsey out to the 42. Very near 1st down yardage. They haven't moved the chains yet. This is going to come down to the spot.
Just a really good athlete. He's got the ability to avoid the rush and keeps his eyes downfield. Nice play.
And they needed about 8, and they got about 8 yards and a couple of inches. Enough for the 1st down. As Davis, who's now up to 10 of 18 in the game, and that was a slow start. I want to say he misfired on at least the first couple of passes that he threw, but since then he's been very solid, not just moving and buying himself some time, but throwing the ball as well. Throws again here, and this one is picked off. This is Sanders. Breaks a tackle at the 50, still on his feet. 45-40, looking for a block, and finally wrapped up and taken out of bounds by Dorsey at the 30.
Got a flag come in late, but I think that'll go after the play. Yeah,
late flag might be on the return. We'll wait and see what the call is, but Davis had been settling in, but this, not unlike the throw that Fagans picked off on the previous drive, just an ill-advised throw from Davis. I'm not sure he picked up Sanders, and Sanders steps in front, has the interception. We'll wait and see what the call is on the penalty, but this should be after the change of possession.
Yeah, it's a holding call against the Bobcats on the return. I think they got somebody out around the 35. Looks like they're going to mark it off 10 from there. Saddleback will take over at the 45-ish, somewhere in there.
And for Sanders, that is his first interception of the season. And it gives it to Saddleback at the Southwestern 45. Well, Southwestern this season, talked about the turnover troubles. They're now -8 differential. They've taken reasonably good care of the ball, just 11 turnovers coming in. But they'd only forced 5. They really had trouble generating turnovers. They did a good job in the first half with no turnovers, but back-to-back interceptions here in the third quarter have allowed Saddleback to really take even greater control as this one is nearly picked off, looking for Wimmer on the screen.
Yeah, new quarterback in the game for Saddleback, Owen Easley. Kid out of Christian High School, I believe, down in San Diego. I think he's a San Diego kid playing against maybe some guys he knows on the other side of the field.
And that was...
I think we saw Easley earlier in the season in one game, if I'm not mistaken. DJ Ralph was on the shelf for a couple of weeks at the beginning of the year. And
yeah, maybe in one of the first games,
yeah.
I want to say.
It was the Glendale game, perhaps.
I'm going to the stats, Brad. We'll see. Yeah, Easley couple of appearances this season, comes in 5 of 15 for 75 yards overall. It's Ralph who returns after one play and finds Bowden Groen down to the 38-yard line. The 7-yard gain will leave a 3rd and 3 for the Bobcats. So a short trip in for Owen Easley, who's out there for one play. And now we'll see Ralph return. Zachary Roebuck checks in. Wimmer remains the lone setback. Saddleback facing a 3rd and 3.
Wouldn't be surprised if Owen Leasley got a little more playing time in this one, Jeff.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see him for a while there, given the
Big game
49-7 score.
Yeah, big game for Saddleback next week. They get Fullerton, who is a big rivalry on the road.
Wimmer on the pitch with a head of steam, bouncing off tacklers. He's inside the 30, down to the 26. Good enough to convert on a 3rd and 3.
Talked about earlier in the broadcast about how strange a season it's been just for Saddleback in terms of, what they've not only done on the field, but, the COVID postponements for some of these teams. And now Fullerton's not playing again this week. They, of course, had a forfeit in week 1. So they're going to have a week off playing next week. So I wouldn't be surprised if Saddleback, maybe they get one more score, try to get some fresh bodies in there and save some guys for next week.
Wimmer, meanwhile, creeps ever closer to 100 yards rushing in the game. Good protection for Ralph, who throws over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, they got their feet tangled up on that one.
He was looking for Barry, who was working against Terry Wright.
See if they got their feet tangled here. It seemed as if he and Wright.
Excuse me, I misspoke. That was Donnell Frazier, number 6 on defense.
Yeah,
actually,
hard to say.
Actually, I believe it was Jordan Lawson. So we'll get it. I will say 5 and 6 sometimes from a distance. Little hard to pick up.
Third time's a charm, right?
Right, that's it. Let me keep going. I'll get it. Hicks on the end around, still weaving, still on his feet, spins out of a tackle, looking for a block, but he is wrapped up now, loses the ball. Southwestern going to get it back as Lawson picks it up. Lawson's at midfield, into Saddleback territory, down to the 20, slips out of a tackle, one man to beat, inside the 10, down to the 5.
We got a flag way back at the 30. I think this thing's coming back as well.
Well, shades of Daniel Stokes for Jordan Lawson, who ran a long way but might not get the fruits of that long return. That started as a great individual effort by Samuel Hicks, but then as he started to make a move, he was hit and coughed it up.
Yeah, I think at some point you just got to bail on it and get the 1 yard or the loss of one, and Sam's just trying to make a play, and eventually somebody swatted the ball away. But it looks like the officials are going to bring this thing back regardless.
Well, was it after the fumbles? We'll take you back to the play here. That's just a great move by Hicks, but then what a tremendous effort coming up and getting that ball free. And I didn't quite catch that. Might have been Frazier. He's trying to get the number. But that was a great job coming up aggressively and hitting Hicks and knocking that ball free. Lawson picked it up and turned it into a long return.
Nice, heck of a effort play by Zach Roebuck to get back. He just came flying out of nowhere and ran down
saved the touchdown.
Yeah, ran down the guy that was returning the ball.
Well, let's sort everything out here. They are walking all the way back. This is going to be inside the 20. So they'll come back to the 19, but it will be Southwestern football.
It's about a 78-yard penalty when it's all said and done, because that ball was going to be on the 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the spot foul, and they'll back it up from there. But we've seen a couple of strange plays here tonight. And that was another one, but it starts with a good job defensively for Southwestern on a play where Hicks was trying to make something happen. And they were able to knock it free, and they forced the turnover and get it back. Davis screens it out, and Tienko hitting Dorsey immediately. This is going to be a loss back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 5.
Yeah, Lance Tienko, it's almost like he was in the huddle on that one. He knew exactly what was coming, and he saw the ball in the air. He just made a break for it. And
well, we've seen that play quite a bit here tonight from Southwestern, as they have attempted that quick jet screen, or I should say quick bubble screen to the receiver on the outside.
Tienko's a veteran. He was on the team a couple of years ago, sophomore to Norco, and he's seen that one a few times.
So 2nd and 15 now for Southwestern. Saddleback on the blitz, but a good hole for Robinson out to the 23. That's a gain of 9, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 6. And he was working up the middle behind Michael Perry, Daniel Placencia, creating a good lane in the middle of that Southwestern offensive line. Robinson now will line up to the left of Davis on a 3rd and 6. Blitz coming again. Davis steps up and throws incomplete. Looking for Poston. And a quick 3 and out. And Saddleback will get it back after they coughed it up.
Southwestern still got their offense out there right now, but I can't envision them going for it from that spot on the field. And now they do bring the punting unit out.
And McGillicott on. .6:13 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Bobcats not giving a lot of respect to the kicking game. Their guys only lined up just over the 50. Only about 29 yards down the field. High hanger.
Fair catch. A little trouble for Barry, but he does fall on it and then takes a hit.
Yeah, he took a shot on
That looked like Jaheim Williams, leading tackler for Southwestern this season out there on special teams, and gets a shot in on Barry after he muffs the fair catch but is able to fall on it.
So the Bobcats with 6:03 here. Let's see if they just kind of exclusively go to the ground game now.
Well, they come out with Ashley in the backfield. I'm looking at it. It looks like it's still DJ Ralph, so they'll stay with Ralph at least for another possession. Plenty of time on the play clock at 18 as Saddleback overloads the near side, working from right to left here in the 3rd quarter. Play action to Ashley, pump fake. Ralph in some trouble, able to ward off a tackler, and then just puts this one up for grabs. He was looking for Barry with Lawson right on him, and Barry able to at least knock that one free and keep it from being an interception for Southwestern.
Good coverage there for the Jaguars on the outside. Not a lot there for DJ Ralph to look at.
So a 2nd down and 10. Pistol formation with Ashley behind Ralph. And this is Ashley running right, cuts it back. He's out past the 40, past the 45, and out to the 47. Good hard running for Anthodius Ashley. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 2. Ashley coming off limited work a week ago, just 3 carries in the game, but he did go for 32 yards.
We got another flag on the play going against Saddleback here. The clock is stopped, and
so Ashley going to lose out on the yardage there. And this one will back up the Bobcats, who will now face a 2nd and longer. They'll back it up, presumably to the 29, where it'll be 2nd and 20.
we talked at the break about how it was a nice, clean first half. We'd like to see things clean here in the second half as well. Take a 4-quarter game into the next week of practice. You know, it would feel really good to have that.
2nd down and 20. Football resting on the Saddleback 29. Ralph, straight drop, throws short over the middle, finds Roebuck. Short gain on the play for Roebuck. A couple of yards.
I think he got to the 31 there.
Where it'll be 3rd down and forever, a 3rd and 18.
Linebacker was waiting on that little crossing pattern.
Clock moving at 5:10 and counting. And what do you do here? Obviously, you got the
I'd run a
huge lead
screen
of
play.
3rd and 18.
Jeff, I'm running a screen play here. They've had good success on that a couple of times this year. We'll see.
4-man rush. Ralph over the middle. Tight coverage as he tries to squeeze it into Roebuck, and he does, out to the 43. That is well short of 1st down yardage.
Yeah, it's one of those things, though, now where you make it interesting if you decide you want to go for it. Looks like the Bobcats are going to kick it away.
Lorenzo Perry had blanket coverage on Roebuck, but that's a great job by Ralph to squeeze it in. And Roebuck comes down with it. A gain of 12. It brings up a 4th down and 6. And we will see the punting unit. So nothing too crazy here for head coach Kerry Crabb. And he will send out Dylan Widener. 1 punt tonight for Widener. It was a 52-yarder. Gets this one off. Fair catch made back at the 10-yard line. Another good kick for Widener.
Yeah, drove him back to the 15, I think it was officially.
Yeah, 15. Thank you.
Nice high-hanging kick, though. No chance for a return. And Jaguars, again, kind of pinned deep into their own end again. It's kind of been a running theme all night long. They've had to start out from
in addition,
not the best of field positions all night long.
In addition to the struggles offensively, yes, the field position has been working against them fairly consistently in this one.
What do we got for total yardage so far in this game?
191 for Southwestern and 394 for Saddleback. And Southwestern got off to just a very slow start. I believe we have a different quarterback here as well. The ball up and caught at the 36. That was Timothy Christopher going high up for that one. And let's see if we can get it. That is not Davis at quarterback. I believe that's Brandon Smith. I'm going to have to see if I can confirm the number. I believe that was 16. So Christopher with the reception on the first pass out to the 35, and that gives Southwestern some breathing room. Blitz coming, and it's Inman, the quarterback, not Brandon Smith. So Jimmy Inman in at quarterback, and he is going to be hit and sacked back at the 28 as he ran right into the area where the blitz was coming. As you watch here from field level, and it's Tianko in there.
I've got a little trivia for you here, Jeff. Who's the greatest quarterback ever to play?
Along with Marcus Ramirez.
At Southwestern. I actually don't have the answer. I was thinking of San Diego Mesa and Tony Banks, so I'm going to have to disregard.
Tony Banks, Michigan State.
Yeah, that's right.
So I got to,
San Diego Mesa down there in San
Big
Diego.
Ten guy. I have to drop in what I do know.
Yes.
2nd down and long. Inman over the middle, incomplete. Wanted to go to Christopher again. The pass broken up.
Have to give
Kyle
a shout
Thomas
out,
on the coverage.
Give a shout out to my buddy Drew Wessling, who played quarterback at Southwestern for a year. Drew Wessling's father, the coach up at Aliso Niguel High School for a long time. Now he's coaching at another school in Irvine. But Drew having a successful season as a high school coach, I believe, at Mount Carmel down in San Diego, but he was a quarterback at Southwestern at one point. Ed Carberry is
in his 14th season as the head coach at Southwestern. And they're coming off a long stretch of consecutive winning seasons. The throw a little bit behind, looking
catch
for Jordan, and Jordan able to come back and make the catch out at the 49. So that will move the chains as Southwestern converts on a 3rd and long. Watch Jordan laying out back behind him. And Christian Jordan, the leading receiver, coming in with 28 catches on the season coming into tonight. And that is his 3rd catch tonight. Does have the lone touchdown for Southwestern. 23-yard touchdown catch coming back in the 2nd quarter. Inman with the snap, 1st and 10. Under pressure, hit from behind and sacked.
one of those plays where he kind of ran himself into trouble there, and first guy to get there was Brian Patterson, I believe. Nice play by Patterson, just staying with things. Sean Owens was also in the mix.
So another sack, and we talked about Southwestern and some of the struggles protecting the quarterback this season. 31 sacks allowed coming into this one. I want to say offhand that's the 4th sack tonight. It's an unofficial number for the Bobcats.
A lot of different numbers in the game now for Saddleback. James McDonald in there playing in safety position.
2nd down and 15.
Jace Hunter playing free safety back there.
Deep drop for Inman, and the throw behind his intended target, incomplete. Looked like he was going back to Jordan over on the far side, and now it's 3rd and long for Southwestern.
Tyler Hermanson in the game, a little linebacker. So Saddleback getting an opportunity to get a lot of new guys out there. Also, I see Thomas Branconia out there. Eduardo Perez Reyes right in the middle, a defensive tackle.
And I want to say it was Reyes that was also in on that most recent sack, getting there as well.
Good to see some guys getting some playing time. And
along with Patterson, 3rd down and 15. Blitz coming again. Inman in some trouble. Able to scramble. Now throws on the run, looking deep, but the only one back there. It's a Bobcat. And another interception.
Yeah, James McDonald, who was just playing center field.
Yeah, McDonald back there as the ball overthrown, looking for Dorsey, and McDonald ends up with the pick. That's the 3rd turnover tonight for Southwestern as Inman throws the interception. I suppose in some sense, if you're Inman and the Southwestern Jaguars, this ends up functioning as something of a punt on 3rd and long as McDonald brings this one down back near the 10-yard line, and then a good hustle from Dorsey to wrap him up actually back at the 5. So it ends up functioning as a pretty good punt.
Makes everybody happy in a 49-7 game, Jeff. Your defender gets an interception. They flip the field. Doesn't make the quarterback very happy, though. Probably
right,
doesn't.
Not great. I suppose it might be Jimmy Inman might be the only one. Not thrilled with that result. Ralph, quick throw, big hit. That was Frazier coming up to deliver the hit. And a short gain on the play as the catch will net the Bobcats a yard or two. Let's see what the spot is.
Looks like they put it up around the 8-yard line.
Gain of 3. Stokes with the reception. Play action. Ralph hit from behind and dropped back near the goal line. That was Andrew Sola coming off the edge. And we haven't had a lot of chance to call Sola's name, but he's the 2nd leading tackler on the team.
Look at Sola's reaction after this. He gets down and he's just like, yes, finally we got one.
Coming off the edge, and he is working against Samuel Gatta for much of tonight. Although that was William Savard. There's been a lot of movement on that Saddleback offensive line. Seen players playing really at all 3 positions at different times on that offensive line this season. On 3rd and long, Saddleback will keep it on the ground, trying to get themselves a little bit of breathing room on the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're through 3. Saddleback on top of Southwestern, 49-7. It's Saddleback College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the 4th quarter from Saddleback. And the Bobcats firmly in control, leading this one 49-7.
Good day for the defense so far. 3 interceptions. Just not giving Southwestern a lot of breathing room.
Widener back at the back of his own end zone to kick this one away, and some movement on the right side for Southwestern. And pointing fingers both ways. Let's see if this was Southwestern or if they were drawn off. Trying to get it from field level.
Yeah, the guys for Saddleback on the far side are saying, hey, you made us move. So
good
looks
news.
like they might be right.
Good news if you're Saddleback, you're really only shortening the snap a little bit here as they're back.
Well, you get Widener a little room to get off his back end zone line. Gives him a little space.
Out to the 9-yard line, and Widener will still kick from his own end zone, but about midway through, so a lot more room. Waiting deep. It's Christian, or I should say Christian Jordan, and he's going to let this one bounce. It'll come to rest at the 42. That's a 33-yard kick from Widener. And a short field this time for Southwestern, and let's see if they come back with Jimmy Inman. Well, it looks like Davis coming out of the field, though. As we talked about, Brad, that doesn't establish anything right away because Davis was a receiver a week ago. Spent most of tonight at the helm, quarterbacking Southwestern. And he is going to move out wide. So
I think it's Jalen Crowell in there now.
Third quarterback tonight, and Kroll will come on. Also a change in the backfield for the Jaguars. Jonathan Santos. What is it? Nope, it wasn't Santos. Dorsey on the quick screen. Able to shed one tackle, but then he is hit. No gain on the play.
Nobody was surprised by that one. Saddleback had a lot of guys over there. 67, Josiah Williams.
Looked like Jared Coleman ended up finally finishing it off.
Also, yeah, 47 was the guy that was Gerald Coleman, he said. A lot of new players out there. We'll try to give some shout-outs to some of these guys. The parents can hear their name.
A lot to keep track of. Martin Chavez in the backfield now with Kroll. Kroll. Straight drop on the roll, looking downfield. Now he'll air it out inside the 10, incomplete.
Juan Lua had pretty good coverage down there.
Yeah,
really wasn't a lot to look at.
Looking for Christopher.
Kind of heaves it up there. You see Lua's got pretty good coverage.
Yeah, Christopher, 3 catches tonight. And take a shot downfield there. And quickly now, 3rd and 10 from the Saddleback 42. And hard to imagine this isn't 4-down territory for Southwestern. Blitz coming, Kroll looking to run. He's at the 40, 35-30 down to the 29. Good speed from Jalen Crowell.
Looks like another solid athlete there for Southwestern. Jarrell Coleman finally runs him down.
13-yard run for Kroll, and I think we can certainly tell part of what Jalen Kroll brings to the table at the quarterback position.
Seems like he's got a little extra burst in his step.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Kroll will give to Chavez straight up the middle. Good hole for Chavez, twisting his way forward. He's inside the 25, down to the 21. 8-yard run. We'll leave a 2nd and short.
Ethan Cargill in there now for Saddleback. Also, looks like Bryce Kreider getting some opportunities in the middle of the field. Listed as a tight end on the roster, but he's a big body. We're going to put him in there at defensive tackle.
They'll give Chavez 9 yards. It's 2nd and 1 from the Saddleback 20. Play action. This is a backwards throw, so Dorsey's going to have to corral it, but I expect this will be spotted back at the 27. That's going to be a loss of 7. Watch here where this throw comes from. It's about the 25, and there's no question. That's behind the line, and Dorsey just has to fall on it. So 2nd and 1 now becomes 3rd and 8 from the 27.
Tanner Gunnell getting some play now at corner. Yeah, I would be kind of surprised here to not see Southwestern go for it on 4th down. They've had no success kicking so far. They've had both kicks blocked.
Another blitz coming from the corner. Crowell hit at the line. They stand him up. It's a gain of perhaps a yard and a 4th down coming.
Really nice play by Bryce Kreider. He saw it coming, and he saw the seam that the quarterback was going to try to exploit in the middle of the field, and he just reached out with one arm. And
yeah, that's about a 15-yard saving tackle, I would say at least.
Yeah, I guess
by Kreider.
They are going to try a field goal. See if the Bobcats can come up with another block here.
Well, so far,
they're going to put 11 in. Look at this.
Booth 0 for 2 tonight. Both kicks blocked.
They brought in Gushikin off the edge. We'll see.
This will be a 44-yard attempt, and Gushikin almost got there again. This one is long enough.
No good. I think it was wide left.
Yeah, waiting for the signal. It looked like it was pulled to the left by Booth.
We never really did get a signal there.
No,
did we?
I was watching it, and now we get the signal. So, well, that's about as long a time as you're going to see on the signal. But, indeed, that one hooking to the left on Booth, and Southwestern again comes up empty on a field goal attempt. They're 0 for 3 tonight.
That was rather odd. I've never seen officials.
Right? I mean,
both
they're right
delay.
there. If anyone should be able to make the call right away. Just how bad is the lighting down there? I guess we have to ask. If they're right there, can't make the call.
It's a brand new stadium. I don't think it has anything to do with the lighting, Jeff.
It would have been hard to imagine, but you never know with these things. 1st and 10 from the 27 for Saddleback. 11:24 to go in the game.
The Bobcats put Andrew Wimmer back in the football game.
Could tell by the pink tape. Might not be the only one. Easily back on, completes the pass to Cooper. Circles to his left. He's out to the 35, called the 36. 9-yard gain for Cooper.
They might be trying to get Andrew Wimmer 100 yards. He's at, about 89 right now?
Yeah, I got him at 89 yards on 13 carries.
Let's see if he gets a ball here a couple times and gets himself 11 and then goes back to the sidelines.
Cooper's second catch tonight. His other catch was for a touchdown back in the first half. Wimmer on the transfer. Stiff arms a man now out to the 40. Brought down after a gain of 4.
The Wimmer watch is on now. I think he's at 93 yards.
Savion Williams on the stop, and Williams stepping into a much bigger role tonight for Southwestern. And it's been a challenge for the Jaguars from the outset, somewhat undermanned here tonight. But they have not stopped battling. That one knocked down at the line looking for Hicks.
Big fella there for Southwestern, got his arm up in there.
Was that Sola over there at yep, it's a good read from Sola, reading easily and able to knock that one down. Sola with a sack earlier tonight. He's now got 3.5 on the season. And that is a tie for the lead with Jace Fuamatu for Southwestern. 2nd down and 10. Wimmer again on the carry, but nothing doing. Haven't seen that very often tonight at all. But the right side of that Saddleback offensive line stood up and pushed back, and nowhere for Wimmer to go.
It's good defense, really. The Bobcats had 2 tight ends out there, so they had extra big bodies, but Southwestern read it well.
Spotted at the 40, no gain for Wimmer, and it's 3rd down and 10. 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. For Saddleback, easily with the snap. 4-man rush, easily under pressure. Starting to move, completes to Cooper. Cooper at the 43, hit and brought down there. A gain of 3 and 4th down coming up for Saddleback. So the Jaguars going to get off the field.
Good rally to the ball. I like seeing the fact that Southwestern is not giving up on this thing. They're still playing hard under tough conditions.
Yeah, Alta Sola coming back to make the stop, and you see Sola at 95, 96, both out of Morse High School. I'm going to go ahead and take a guess that they're related.
Could be.
Sometimes you just got to take a shot. Widener's kick taken at the 16 by Jordan, who breaks a tackle and now heads up the sideline and turns it into a 4-yard return. That's a good job by Jordan after Widener. Did a good job angling the kick.
MJ Brooks, the first guy down there, made the initial hit. couldn't quite wrap him up. Nice move to get outside and pick up an extra 5-7 yards there for the Jags. They'll start on their own 20. Again, not very good field position for Southwestern to start things out. It's kind of been a running theme all night long.
Well, Widener's had a good game, and usually when you see 49 on the board in offensive domination, you don't think of the punter as being a guy that's had a good game, but Widener, a few long kicks, and he does a great job there angling that one on Jordan and making it more difficult for a return. Davis on the sweep, now reverses field looking for a block, but he's brought down at the 28.
Good hustle there by, I believe it was Gavin Schaefer, who just never gave up on the play. Watch Schaefer come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
here.
and if Schaefer doesn't track this down, Davis is about one block away from maybe turning that into 25, 30 yards.
Yeah, no, that had big play written all over it. It was busted play, but it looked like big play.
Well, that's pretty much what we saw from Davis pretty much every other play as the quarterback, where he was basically just running freely and trying to find a lane against this Saddleback defense. Must have felt very familiar. 2nd and 2. Inman back at the controls. This is going to be a loss on the play. Back inside the 25.
Really good pressure inside there for the Bobcats. Trying to get a number. It looks like 38 maybe.
60, I believe. I believe came in for that.
I thought it was 38. I thought it was maybe Elgin Diaz got in there. He was the first guy in on the tackle.
Or Eric. Yeah, couldn't quite see. Either way, it's a loss back to the 23. It's great penetration. And 2nd and 2, and now it's 3rd and 7 after a 5-yard loss.
Clock running. Both teams kind of happy to just kind of let this one run out at this point, I think.
And elsewhere in the South Division, Golden West a winner earlier today over San Bernardino Valley. They stay perfect on the season, 8-0. Inman under pressure, hit. He's going to be sacked at the 14.
Yeah, look out. It was a jailbreak. Gavin Robb was the first guy there.
Yeah, Robb able to just beat his block coming in from the right defensive end spot. Splits a couple of blockers, and Saddleback has been able to generate pressure from the outset.
That's fun stuff right there if you're the defense. Got a few guys who are getting on there for the first time tonight, and pretty successful series. They kept the Jaguars at minus yards there on that drive.
Ventura with a thrilling win earlier today at Allen Hancock. They stay undefeated as well.
I can't believe I'm looking at the Canyons game.
35-34.
Canyons down 3 to East LA, late 4th.
2:07 to go, and College of the Canyons, the Cougars, another undefeated team.
That's a stunner right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, as someone who covers the Northern Division quite a bit, I'll tell you that if East Los Angeles could pull the upset there, it would really throw things into chaos, because now Canyons host Ventura next week, and if Canyons wins that game, then they both have one loss, and you're back to the same thing, and who knows what happens there. But it's very tight at the top and only 4 playoff spots. So every game takes on so much importance, but keep an eye on that one. East Los Angeles, that would be a major upset. Mount San Antonio College, a big lead on Chafee, 31-7.
We saw East LA here earlier in the season. They had a lot of good athletes. Remember, they had a big first half against Saddleback, led 19-0, and then they looked like a completely different team in the second half.
Looking for Barry on the slant, incomplete.
Saddleback giving Owen Easley a little bit of opportunity to air things out a little bit.
They have it at the Southwestern 35 after the short kick.
Had a guy, but just a little bit outside.
Looked like he was working against Donnell Frazier. 2nd down and 10. For Saddleback, 6:21 remaining in the game. 49-7. Saddleback in the lead. Ashley on the screen, cuts it back. He's at the 30. Brought down at the 28. 7-yard reception for Ashley. And a 3rd and 3.
Mentioned Simeon Martin earlier, and also John Jennings in there now at wide receiver. Uh-oh, here he comes, Andrew Wimmer. They're going to get him 100, Jeff?
Let's see where he is.
He had a little.
Saddleback, or I should say Southwestern, has gotten a little more stingy against the run in the second half after really struggling in the first half. He's at 93 yards, but it's Ashley who will get the carry. He's in trouble in the backfield and brought down for a loss of a yard.
Had to think Saddleback might just line up to go for this. I'd be a little surprised if they didn't.
Dominique Jenkins able to wrap up Ashley, who will stay in the game. It's a 4th down and 4, and Saddleback will keep the offense on the field. Easily with receivers left and right, some movement.
Yeah, I think one of the
And
Jaguars jumped off sides.
The flag.
Roy Lackmish, the left tackle, just looked at the guy that jumped across. He pointed at him.
Yeah, that was Jenkins who just made the big play, should say.
They're going to call it against Saddleback. I'm not sure I agree with that one. There was a clear encroachment off the far defensive end. Now, whether or not somebody flinched
hard
ahead
to
of
say
time.
that maybe Lackmish did something that would have brought him. He's lined up across from Dominique Jenkins. So it's a 4th and 9 from the 34. And does this change
Saddleback's going to take a
the
timeout
thinking
now.
of Kerry Crabb as Saddleback will take a timeout. 5:12 to go in the ball game. Saddleback leading Southwestern 49-7. Yeah, anytime. 4th down and 9, and they're going to send out Easley and the offense for Saddleback. And hey, you take a look at the stats, and I go back to early in that second half, and you asked me about the total yards, and it was 394 for Saddleback, and now it's only at 429. And Southwestern has, as strange as it sounds, they've gotten better in this one as it's gone on. Easley throws, finds Barry right at the 1st down marker, but he gets a terrible spot.
Yeah, that looked terrible.
Back at the 26, and
the
if that's
near
the
side
spot,
linesman, though, has got it down at the 24, which is really where he caught the ball.
yeah, that's not close. So let's see. It will come down to the spot, but initially that spot was so bad that it didn't even come down to the spot.
Yeah,
he was a full yard short. This is a little more
We can probably see that one on replay.
right at the marker. Well, let's see if we can get that one more time on replay. We'll see if we can see where Barry ultimately came down. 5:05 remaining, and it's a 4th and 9, so this will be decided by the spot.
Yeah, they've now put it at the 25, but I think he was well beyond the sticks when he caught that ball. It looked more like the 24, 24 and a half. And I don't think they're going to give it to him, but I think Saddleback would probably go for it regardless.
Well, that was 4th.
Oh, that was 4th down.
Yeah,
huh?
so
Interesting.
and it looks to me like, all right, they're going to bring
Now they're going to
the
get all
sticks
scientific
out. Yeah,
on
that's it. You don't see this too often. Usually they'll kind of eyeball it and make the call. There's the replay. Great angle. Great job,
look
guys.
at that ball's.
And there's no question. Yeah, Barry catches that
he's
ball
a
fully at
yard
the
beyond those
24.
sticks.
Yeah, that is. Well, can we bring that forward to see where he came down?
No, that's.
And
that's,
there's no question about that. That is at the
there.
24-yard line. That is a fantastic job on camera and replay. Thank you, guys. And
I think they gave it to him regardless. They did measure, and it was. They got plenty of yardage.
My teammates are working the chains.
so they spotted at the 25, and it appears it is as if it is enough.
Maybe perhaps the most impressive thing there, Jeff, was my eyes. Did I not say 20, 24 and a half?
Easily throws on the run looking for Roebuck. Pass incomplete. I know some of them, but okay. 2nd down and 10. After the incompletion. Pistol formation with Ashley behind Easley. Under 5 minutes to go. Saddleback going to break this 4-game losing streak and move to 3-5 on the season. Counter with Ashley over his right guard. Takes a hit at the 21. Gain of 4 and a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Bobcats.
Does he have one?
Looks like both teams content with getting this clock winding down and getting out of here and getting home. Halloween tomorrow, Jeff. What are you dressing as? You dressing as Mike Zapata? What are you going as?
Dressing as a guy going to work, I guess. 3rd down and 6. That's it. I should go as Zapata one
Go
year.
as Mike Zapata. That's what I'm going to go as.
I'll tell you. Easily loses the handle, has that one stripped, but manages to pick it up. Now looking for a block, gets it at the 20. He's at the 15. Flags come in from everywhere.
Too good of a block. I see flags.
Boy, Ashley, what a great job on the block, but the flags came from everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. They're calling it a cut block, but he's outside the
Well, it's not.
hash marks.
It looks
I'm
like
not
it's
sure
pretty
about
much
this
straight
call.
on, and
He's hurt. Good.
yeah,
That's a bad one.
yeah, takes down, and that brings the flags from everywhere. And it was Lorenzo Perry who's still down, and they're looking at him. He popped up initially, but then clearly the injury brought him back down, and now he's back down on the turf, and they're taking a look at him with 4:11 to go. We'll step aside for an injury timeout. It is Saddleback College Football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third down and long after the penalty is assessed, and goes on the block by Ashley on Lorenzo Perry, and it looked like Perry was able to get to his feet and get off the field, and obviously that's always, at least preliminarily, a welcome sight.
Always good news when you see a kid get up and walk off the field, and he's kind of stretching that knee out and almost running around on the sidelines now. So that's always
Meanwhile,
good.
Southwestern going to get the sack here on 3rd and long, easily brought down, and that was Josh Williams, who was able to beat the initial block, then beat the block of Anthodius Ashley. And you see at the end there that Jace Fuamato takes a shot at Anthodius Ashley, and I can't help but wonder if that was a number that was on his mind after watching his teammate get blocked by Ashley on the previous play.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, we're not down there on the field. We don't know if there's been things that have been said between the guys or anything like that. I thought it was, middle of the open field. I didn't think it was that terrible of a block, really. But
going back to the Ashley block on Perry, yeah, we were wondering about it. It looked like perhaps it was a little bit from the side, but it's hard to tell, at least when watching it, exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That drew the flag. But the flag came in from 2 spots, and that tells me that they saw something that they felt was a very clear infraction and not a close call. When you see 2 flags immediately pop out, I mean, it tells me that that was an easy call for them down on the field. So clearly they saw something in the block of Ashley on that play after the sack. Saddleback will punt it away, and with 3:01 to go, Southwestern will get it back one more time. Southwestern next week will be on the road at San Bernardino Valley College. Saddleback next week scheduled to play at Fullerton. We'll see if that happens. The Fullerton game was postponed earlier today, so they were not in action, and the Bobcats will have to wait and see if they are back in action next week at Fullerton. But that is the schedule as of right now. 2-yard run on 1st down, 2nd down, and 8. Quarterback carousel continues as Jalen Crowell back at quarterback. I believe we saw Inman for a couple of plays on the last drive as well. Quick pitch, nearly intercepted. This is going to be a loss back to the 11-yard line.
James Huffman hanging on for dear life there. Got himself some jersey. Watch this one right here.
Yep, Claxtail
Got
Jackson.
him. It says, oh, no, he's got it by the wrist.
Right. And Huffman almost got in that passing lane and had the clean pick. Have to settle for a 3-yard loss. 3rd down and 11. We're under 2 minutes to go. Special thanks to Dan Kloss and Matt Brodé here at Saddleback College. Dan Kloss, athletic director, and appreciate him bringing us on to bring you Saddleback College football this season. One more broadcast here on SoCal College Sports. We'll be back final week of the season, November 13th. What do we got that week? Do you
San
remember?
Bernardino Valley.
San Bernardino Valley, that's right.
Final game of the season here
we'll
at
finish
home.
with. Special thanks to Matt Brodé here at the stadium. Does so much to help us get set up for our broadcast, and couldn't do it without Matt. So an appreciation, of course, our team, Angelo Solis, Lorenzo Osuna, Cody Valentine, Zach Schwartzberg. Tonight's broadcast produced and directed by Mike Spada. But we've had a bit of a revolving door on director tonight. We've had Angelo Solis, Lorenzo. So
just a minute remaining now.
Always a team
Southwestern will
effort.
punt.
Right. So one more punt coming, and then Saddleback presumably can run this one out. Of course, special thanks as always, Brad Hoyseth joining us on the broadcast. Great to have you again. Quick hit on Perry, who holds on to the ball.
Always a pleasure doing a game with you guys. Quality unit up here. A well-oiled machine.
We keep it fun, don't we? We try to. That's a big hit. And a good job by Barry holding on to the football.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they still got Yasir Berry in there returning kicks. 45 seconds left in a 42-point blowout.
Yeah, Matthew Elliott getting the hit in on Barry.
Barry's out there on the field. First down.
Yeah, as is Jeremy Cooper.
Well, here's the Andrew Wimmer watch
that
right here.
That may be the drama that we have left. Wimmer at 93 yards. They're going to run one more play here, 44 seconds.
Will he get there? I think
Wimmer
he's going to get it.
Going to circle to the right at the 30, brought down near the 29.
Just barely.
I think this is 7 yards. If it's 7 yards, that would put Wimmer right at 100 on 16 carries. And you see there, good view from down on the field. Well, hey, listen, when you started this game, you hoped that you were going to have drama in the final minute. Look at that, we have it.
Oh, no. Yes, exactly 100, it says on there. Congratulations
After the
to Andrew
7-yard
Wimmer.
run, clock still running at 10 seconds. Saddleback does not have to run a final play. They will run this one out. The final score, Saddleback 49, Southwestern 7. Thank you so much for joining us here for Saddleback College Football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Good night, everybody.
Is the mic hot?
Hey, tighten up, man. Tighten up.
no need to take a knee. Look.
Hey, tighten up, tighten up.
Congratulations on the win. You more than deserve it. Okay? You more than deserve it. We had a great first half. I asked you at halftime to come out and keep that focus, and you rocked it. You didn't have that edge. Okay? You didn't have that edge. We have an extremely tough football game. Okay? Any shot at what our goals are. We focus ourselves on Monday. Enjoy this win. You deserve it. I hope everybody relishes it as a good team. And do it.
Get better every day, baby. Get better every day.
Good job, fellas.
Don't just sit around and do nothing. Find a way to get better every day.
Here we go. Cats on three. Cats on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cats.
Woo! Man, you know what I'm saying?